Tell me when you see green.
There we go.
On.
Hello and welcome, folks. You've got the Crypto Crew here again on Saturday morning, guys. Welcome.
What's going on, people?
How y'all doing?
Hey.
Got some exciting things.
Yeah,
last
man.
Week.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Had some ups and downs. A little volatility.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Which is good.
Show some life.
Yeah.
Volatility.
Yeah, you know, maybe that's what we should do right off the bat is let's show what's on coin market cap.
All right.
Right now.
Okay.
Okay, it's Central Time, a little after 11. We got to get out of here. You got to get to work.
We got to go.
We're just regular guys, got the regular jobs and regular things we're doing, but we love coming here on Saturday morning and visiting with you guys. Yeah, let me see here. Here we go, the cryptocurrency market capitalization. Ooh, Bitcoin, 4188. What was it earlier in the week? It got up.
It got to about 46, 45.
I think 48
somewhere. Well, yeah, 48.
48.
Yeah.
It got, went from what? The week before last.
It was at 5, went over 5. It was like at 51.
Right. Came
And
back
then it came down.
Everybody
43.
and then what
People
happened?
started
I think
panicking.
What was it? The
China.
News from China.
News from
I don't know
China.
if you guys caught that or not, but China is cracking down on Bitcoin, and you know what I say? Hallelujah!
Yeah.
Good.
Because the West hasn't been doing that.
Oh, the rest of the world is still going to
is
use
still
Bitcoin.
going to use Bitcoin, and they're just going to, I guess,
Trying to slow it down, man. They're trying
Well,
to
they're
slow it
trying
down.
to slow down their people. That's
That's
communist country. We can't.
There
forget
you
that.
go.
That's right.
Well, I think what's happening here in the U.S., the U.S. is just ignoring it, which is good.
Yeah.
They're trying to pass regulations and things like
Yeah,
that.
it's kind of keeping it quiet, kind of under the radar, and they are doing that. Yeah, and we'll see later on. There's a video that you brought the twins.
What cost a lot? I'm sorry. I know I'm butchering their name.
You butchered their name.
I know
but
I
that's
butchered
all
their
right.
name.
These two twins that are really
Winklevoss.
into it.
Winklevoss.
Yeah, Winklevoss. That's
Yeah, the
it,
guys that
Winklevoss
helped
twins.
started Facebook.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yep.
And they are we're gonna share that with you, and they've got a little twist on it. And I think the legitimacy of some of these altcoins like Ethereum
Right.
that have a blockchain technology behind them, they have to get legitimate, and they have to work some arrangements with the government because the government can shut you down.
Yeah.
If they, I think the article that showed me that was these altcoins, you know, the tokens you were mentioning earlier, the altcoin tokens, the SEC has determined they can't control the cryptocurrency values of the currency part of it, but the tokens where you use those as dividing up like stocks
Right.
to own ownership, the crowdsourcing they do, they're
Regulate that.
regulating
They
that
want to regulate
part of
that.
it.
That's the key
what
to
they're
it.
doing.
That's the key
And in
to it.
China, what do?
Yeah, you go to
They
jail.
just outlaw it and throw you in jail.
Yeah.
At least we give you a chance to comply.
Yeah,
in
this is what
country.
we're going to do to you. We're
Yeah.
going to shut you down. So that's
Yep. So you see, folks, this if you haven't looked at this, and of course the thing that we're trying to do here is educate and bring people into an understanding, because if you miss this opportunity, we may not get it again.
yeah. And I mean the top 10, those top 10 cryptocurrencies
right
are
here.
they're still the top 10.
And they're strong.
Yeah. It's still the
They're
top
kind of the
things are
blue
going to
chip
go on.
stocks
Yeah.
of the internet. I mean of the cryptocurrency.
Yeah, they're still there.
And we want to educate you. So that's why we show this chart. That's why you should know that chart is called the coin. Was it coin market
Capitalization
cap? Yeah,
chart. That's what it is.
coin market cap. That's
Yeah.
COINMARKET cap.com. Write that down. Look it up. Maybe save it to your desktop.
You can download the app if you want. If you just
Oh,
don't
there's
care,
an app
which
for that
yeah,
too.
there's an
That's
app
right.
for it too.
You can carry it around
Yeah.
with you. You can kind of keep an eye on
Keep
what's
an eye
going
on what's going on.
Yeah. So we got a lot of things to cover. We got a short time. We were long last week. We want to try to make that a little quicker.
Yeah.
We've got a video right up front. 5 reasons to invest in Bitcoin. 5 reasons.
5.
Okay. So we're going to go ahead without any further ado and run that, and then we'll discuss those 5 reasons and why it's all changed.
Let's
okay?
do it.
Go for it.
Referred to by some as digital gold, Bitcoin is one of the most controversial investment opportunities that exists today. Over the last 5 years, the value of Bitcoin has skyrocketed, nearly 25,000%, meaning if you had the foresight to buy and hold early, you could have earned Referred to by some as digital gold, Bitcoin is one of the most controversial investment opportunities that exists today. Over the last 5 years, the value of Bitcoin has skyrocketed, nearly 25,000%. Referred to by some as digital gold, Bitcoin is one of the most controversial investment opportunities that exists today. Over the last 5 years, the value of Bitcoin has skyrocketed, nearly 25,000%, meaning if you had the foresight to buy and hold early, you could have earned as much as 250 times your initial investment. That's enough to take $10,000 and turn you into a multi-millionaire. But many investors have still been keeping far away from Bitcoin, despite its historic rise. To the average person, it's just all too unfamiliar, too intimidating, and too risky. Yet after years of naysayers predicting that the sky will come crashing down, Bitcoin just keeps on chugging along. Hard to believe, but the cryptocurrency has been around for almost a decade now, and at this point, it doesn't seem to be going away. In fact, Bitcoin's bid as a serious investment has only matured in recent years, as the digital currency has come of age. Once rightfully considered a virtual lottery ticket, here are 5 reasons you may want to seriously consider investing in Bitcoin today. Reason number 1. More and more people are using Bitcoin every day. In its early days, Bitcoin was little more than a speculative bet for day traders hoping to turn a quick profit. That's because, as a currency, Bitcoin still had very little utility aside from on the black market. Like trying to pay for your rent in yen, buying goods with Bitcoin was just something you didn't do when the currency was still young. But after years of gradual adoption, more and more people are using Bitcoin for real-world transactions every day. In January 2010, Bitcoin was averaging less than 200 transactions a day. Today, the digital currency is used in as many as 300,000 transactions per day. In other words, Bitcoin is no longer just a form of money in theory, but has become a form of money in practice. People are buying goods with it, just as they do with any other form of currency. For long-term investors, this is great news, because after all, that's where Bitcoin's value exists. So long as adoption of Bitcoin as a currency continues to increase, its value should move in tandem. Reason number 2. More vendors are accepting Bitcoin. There are 2 main reasons why Bitcoin transactions have and will likely continue to increase. The first is a growing acceptance from legitimate vendors. Since 2013, there have already been a number of major retailers that have taken the initiative to treat Bitcoin as a legitimate method of payment. Notable companies now include Expedia, which accepts Bitcoin for all hotel bookings, Overstock.com, which began accepting Bitcoin for its products in January of 2014, and Microsoft, which recently added Bitcoin as a payment option for its digital content. Other major vendors include Dell, Subway, Newegg, Tiger Direct, Tesla, PayPal, and Reed's Jewelers, to name just a few. Even the Sacramento Kings NBA franchise now accepts Bitcoin either online or at the Golden Wand Center Arena. That means that NBA fans can get tickets, jerseys, hot dogs, and yes, even beer with their Bitcoins. Reason number 3. Volatility is trending down. On top of an increasing number of vendors accepting Bitcoin, price volatility is trending downward. And for long-term investors, that's certainly a good thing. In 2011, the 30-day volatility of Bitcoin was nearly 16%, but today it's closer to just 2% on a dollar basis. This means that day-to-day fluctuations in the price of Bitcoin are decreasing, and that the value of Bitcoin is becoming more stable. And for a form of currency, this is incredibly important, because it means consumers' money is becoming more reliable. If a loaf of bread costs $4 yesterday, $2 today, and $7 tomorrow, chances are you wouldn't have much faith in the dollar. The same rule applies to Bitcoin. The less volatile it is, the better it will fare in the fair market. Of course, Bitcoin will continue to have bouts of volatility, and is still years away from being completely stable. But at the time of this video's production, it's already on par with the Mexican pesos and South African rand. For a 10-year-old currency, that's not too bad. Reason number 4, Bitcoin is a hedge against economic uncertainty. For decades, if not centuries, gold has been the go-to safe haven in times of economic uncertainty. When stocks go up, people buy gold. When stocks go down, people buy gold. When economies collapse, people buy gold. But investors have increasingly turned elsewhere in recent years in the face of economic turmoil. When Cyprus's economy tanked in 2013, Bitcoin soared. When China's yuan collapsed in 2015, it happened again. And when Brexit sent tremors through the market in 2016, Bitcoin investors had a field day, as the currency's value exploded more than $100 in a day. Bitcoin works as a hedge this way because it's disconnected from the traditional financial system. It offers an easy way for people to exit economies that revolve around government money and bad monetary policy. If you're one of the many people worried that the US dollar is on its last legs as a global reserve currency, Bitcoin isn't a bad bet. Reason number 5, buying and selling Bitcoin is easier than you think. Contrary to popular belief, you don't have to be a computer scientist to invest in Bitcoin. Buying and selling the cryptocurrency is actually pretty simple. All you really need is a credit card, bank account, or PayPal to get started. There are a number of easy-to-use platforms for trading and storing Bitcoins. Some of the most reputable include Coinbase, Kraken, BitQuit, and Blockchain Wallet. Buying and selling Bitcoin today is about as easy as trading stocks. Once you're comfortable with whatever platform you choose, you can get started right away. But remember, Bitcoin still carries plenty of risk and should only account for a small portion of your portfolio. The best investors are well diversified, and Bitcoin is just one place to potentially grow your wealth. If you like this video, please make sure to subscribe to the Wealth Daily YouTube channel using the button below. For even more investing tips and commentary, sign up for our free newsletter right here.
Well, there you go.
Yep, there it is.
Pretty
Yep.
awesome.
That's a powerful video, man. It just kind of talk about the new trend of Bitcoin. It's a trend, and as people adjust to it and get on board with it, it becomes more powerful in what it can do for people. And that's basically what we're trying to convey to people. I think that's an excellent video. I know you guys.
I think it's one of the better. It was a little
Yes,
long.
man.
We apologize for it being 6 minutes, but you know it covers all the bases.
Yeah.
You know.
What was number 1?
Well, number one's more and more people are using it.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was you know, there was 2010. What'd they say, about 200 transactions a day
Yeah. Now it's over 300,000 or more
in a month.
in a month, man. So that's in competition with
And
banks.
this is about a year old.
Oh yeah,
this
it's
video,
probably more than
so-
that now.
Oh yeah, it's even more
That's
than
not
that
a
now.
recent. That's not a recent video. So
So it's starting to catch on. I mean, big time.
yeah.
And then the other one was.
Let
what was
me
you
ask you
saying?
this. How much cryptocurrency do you have? What's the different?
Well,
You
I've
gotta
got
go through
5
all of
different
them.
ones. Yeah,
Okay,
I
which
don't
one
want.
are they? You know,
Okay,
share with everybody.
I'll show you right here. We've been doing this about 6-8 months, right? Okay. So best thing to do is just show you here on the chart. I'll go ahead and bring over the cryptocurrency chart. I've got some Bitcoin. I haven't got a lot of Bitcoin.
All of us have Bitcoin.
Yeah.
All of us have Bitcoin, but I don't have a lot of it. It's 4188. It's
chasing the
so
bunny.
fast, but I have it in my bank account to draft $200 or $300. I think it's $250, something like that.
But I mean,
Every 2 weeks.
it's what
you
you
know,
do in
on
your
my
401k.
payday.
It's the same way you
Yeah,
do in
I
your
just doing
401k.
it like
Yeah.
that.
Clockwork.
Now, I also own some Ethereum. I own a couple
Yeah.
Ethereum.
I'm going to buy some
Yeah.
Ethereum next
Yep.
week. Yeah.
I own a little bit of Ripple.
Litecoin.
Litecoin
Gonna
I
get
own.
some
Boy,
more.
I started buying that when it was like $35, and it's like $65 now. I have been wanting to buy Dash. I'm not so sure. Then
Yeah.
but you got to buy
But
what you're
gotta buy it.
comfortable
Yeah.
with. You know, you got to buy what you're comfortable with. Same with Neem. I want some of that. I've always wanted
Monero.
this Monero, but I haven't bought it. You can't buy everything. I just recently purchased this Omisico, and because it's really in the Asian markets, it's opening up a way for vendors, whether they be street vendors, you know, a system much like a
PayPal.
Well, yeah, or like having taken credit cards or a swipe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've got
Like a
apps.
Square.
Square.
Yeah.
And so they've really brought that. So I've got some of that, and then I've got some of this Gollum as well. I got probably 100 or so Gollum.
It's 35 cents. Yeah. So
But I've put about
Yeah.
$1,500 in a strategy of buying and holding,
Right.
and that's right at about $2,200 now.
yeah.
It's
yeah.
been growing,
Yeah.
and I don't know any place I could put $1,500 in a bank account.
Not
and
no
have-
savings account, no money
Yeah,
market, nothing
right.
in the
Now,
bank.
that's not my
actually.
whole portfolio, but
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
my cryptocurrency portfolio. And one of the things that this video said, don't throw all your eggs in it and don't get ridiculous
Diversify.
about it. Diversify.
Yeah.
So how does that relate to number 2?
Well,
Oh.
I can start using it when I need to because of the vendors.
Right.
Well, okay. Now the list of some of the vendors was Expedia, Overstock. You had Dell. You got Subway. You got Tesla. So you're starting to see big companies catching on to this, and it says, well, and it goes back to market share. You say if Bitcoin is going to create a new market share, I want to be in on it.
Bitcoin.
And that's basically what it is. Bitcoin is creating a new market share, and it's going to pull out. It's going to pull from the stock market. It's going to pull from the auto industry. It's going to pull from the insurance industry. It's going to pull from the banking industry, and that's what we were talking about before. Blockchain. Bitcoin is creating a new market share, and if you want to be forward thinking, you're going to get in front of
And
it.
there's only going to be so many Bitcoins.
There you go.
If you hadn't heard this before, there's going to be so many Bitcoins created in the first place.
Exactly.
And that's why so many of the people who are really, financiers and understand the deep market share concepts and market caps and all that,
Yeah.
they start to value, they put it in their, algorithm calculations.
Right.
You hear people talk about Bitcoin going to be $50
Million,
million.
man.
I mean,
500,000 for one.
500,000 for one.
600,000 for one
600,000.
Bitcoin.
50,000 for one would blow my mind.
Exactly.
Well,
But
we
you know-
talked about this last week too. That Berkshire Hathaway is at was it almost 300,000 for one share.
For one share. So,
So-
why shouldn't something
so,
like Bitcoin
yeah.
that has such limited
There you go.
shares of it or limited coin out there?
So you got that capacity that's dealing with Bitcoin, man. It's not gonna go away. We're gonna see the volatility. It's gonna go up, it's going down, just like stock. It's
Well,
the same
that's
thing.
volatility
Yeah,
is another
yeah.
thing they discussed in this
Yeah.
video. Okay, volatility. At the beginning, it was very volatile.
Mm-hmm.
Over time, it's actually getting less volatile, and they showed the little, if you bought a slice of bread, was it $7, and then went to $4. You wouldn't want to use
Right.
that. It's kind of hard to use as
Yeah.
a currency because you might spend $7 for a loaf of bread that you could have spent, $5 for next week.
Well,
So
Or even more.
but until that, and it is coming down in less in volatility. So volatility.
volatility.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it's
So,
steady trending up.
Steady trim.
It's acting normal. It's going to do its pullbacks, and
It's
gonna,
trending
and it's
down.
gonna
Yeah,
go
Yep.
it's
up.
doing that. So
Okay.
So that's
Number 3.
That's number three.
Three.
So Bitcoin's a hedge, just like gold has been a hedge.
there you go.
For
Now
investors.
remember, Gary, guys, Bitcoin is the gold of the internet.
Of the internet.
Right.
So it's doing the same thing that the gold does in the natural economy.
Well, they showed
Yeah.
when Cyprus cracked
There you
down
go.
and they started giving people haircuts, as they call it.
Right.
What happened to Bitcoin? It soared.
Man, but you learn nothing. Whenever,
Isn't that a nice word?
Yeah,
a
haircut.
Steal your money and call it a
man,
haircut.
but I mean, you got to also look at the human side too. When a tragic happens, whether it's a hurricane or a government, people go to get their money.
Yeah.
They that's the first thing they're going to the bank to get their money, and that's the key thing that we have to look. When those industries or those countries have uncertainty, people are going into Bitcoin because
Well,
they can't trust.
It's big time
Yeah.
in the third world
Yeah,
in
man.
India.
in cryptocurrencies because, well, the India is because of their banking. They
Well, we saw what they did.
they took out those currencies out of
the $5
Out
and
of
$1
circulation.
value.
Now, what kind of economy do they have? I mean, what kind of government? Is it a democratic government or is it?
Oh yeah.
See, that plays a big part in it too,
And
man.
they reissued money in India, and the people just, I mean, it upset everything because there's so many poor people that just dealt in cash. They didn't have bank
Right.
accounts. Well, cryptocurrency lends itself to being able to have an electronic wallet and being able to use that through apps and other things like a credit card and like a bank account in their hand.
You don't need
and
a
they
physical
all have,
bank.
hey, listen,
It's peer-to-peer.
They all have phones.
It's peer to peer.
I don't care how people in India, people in China,
Everywhere.
they have
Peer
phones.
to peer,
That's right.
man. It's
That's right.
it's still big, even though it's in its infancy stage. The world still doesn't know. Most Americans don't know about Bitcoin. They,
Well,
it's flashing, but they don't have their hands on it.
it's because up until now,
Yeah.
it's not been easy to get.
Right. But it's getting easier.
It's getting easier.
As the demand,
There's Coinbase accounts. You can
Yep.
use your credit card and buy some Bitcoin. Then you get it out there in the internet, and there's places you can even get on an exchange and trade
Yep.
and take advantage of these ups and downs. Buy low, sell high,
There you
and
go.
begin so your Bitcoin grows. I just signed up with Bittrex, and it's a trading platform, and I haven't got my hand in it yet, fellas, but you're going to see me kind of be and you know what's nice about it? You don't have to be a day trader. You know what's a bummer for these fellas that get into day trading and on the stock market is they can't get a regular job because between the
They gotta
time
watch.
it opens, they got to watch that needle go up and down
Yeah.
in these different stocks they're carrying, and then it closes at 4 o'clock. They're out of business. What's neat about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies is it's 24/7,
There you
7
go,
days
man.
a week.
Never stops.
It never stops. So if you got a regular job, you don't have to quit your job, be a day trading cryptocurrency person. You can get on an exchange, sign up for exchange, look at the charts, much like with what you used to do with
Forex.
Forex.
Yeah, and then do your trading. And you can do it in the evening. They'll put mama to bed, the babies to bed. Get on there, spend a couple hours, watch the tide run. I've noticed it happens and as the more I look at this, it's like when the sun goes down in Europe and the sun is
It's going
and the
up
darkness
somewhere else. Yeah.
the sun's coming across to
If it's day somewhere, it's night somewhere.
exactly,
The other side
and
of the world,
everything's slowed down there, and that's when the times there's actually strategies about the London.
Yeah, the London market
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
Yeah, and
and
so
the
you
United
can do
States market.
right. And so if things are going down, you go buy it
And the
now
Asian
because it'll
market.
be
There you
when the
go.
Asian market kicks up and the sun comes back
Yeah.
out there the next day, it's going to rise. So then you go sell it again.
But see, that all goes back, guys, to what we're talking about. It's becoming more familiar with you, and it's becoming more comfortable with you because you're doing it.
yeah,
So so you're removing all that mystery about Bitcoin because you understand. It's just like if you just started riding a bike or whatever. You say, man, you fall. You say, man, I'm not
takes
getting back
a
on the
little
bike.
time.
Yeah.
No, you can't do that.
Yeah, you're gonna get back on the bike and you're gonna keep learning how to do it. And then find yourself riding the bike with no hands because you got all that confidence and you know what you're doing. You know what to see and what to look for.
Yeah, we talked about legitimacy,
Yeah.
and the cryptocurrencies are becoming very legitimate.
Yeah.
They really are. Big companies are on board.
Yep.
It's really happening. There's buying and selling. It's easier to get a hold of Bitcoin, like they talked about here. And they also spoke in the video that we are got to get educated.
Yeah.
You can't just take this willy-nilly. And you'd mentioned that earlier too. So I want to show some folks out there some of the sites and some of the newsletters you can get involved
Yes.
in to educate yourself. This show's an educational show.
Yeah.
You can glean some of that from us. And one of the things we wanted to tell you is one of these types of sites you can go to.
The
Yeah,
Telegraph.
Cointelegraph, and in the Cointelegraph, there's stories, all types of the Russian government plans to subsidize Bitcoin mining electrical costs. Well, that's kind of a capitalistic thing because they get their electricity for free. The government provides.
See?
Well, you know what's
So-
going on in China right now?
What's that?
Because of all of the mining that's going on, that's creating Bitcoin and Ethereum, they have an overflow. They're literally paying people to reserve their power. Isn't that crazy? That's in reverse.
Well, here's
know.
another article I read where Venezuela, because the electricity's free there, of course, the economy's falling apart. It's communism. It never works. But therefore, people are starving.
Right.
But they still get free electricity so they can put their hot plates
You
out
ain't
and
got
not
nothing to
cook
cook.
anything.
You ain't cook anything.
You can't even cook it. You
Can't
got your
cook
hot
what-
plate out there, but you can't make anything with it. But they get free electricity. So it was talking about mining operations are springing up,
popping up
and
all
that's
over
a
the place.
capitalistic thing.
There
They're
you
popping
go.
up in Venezuela all over the place.
That
But to
always
find
works,
this
man.
out, you've got to get onto some.
Get
of
familiar
these.
with that
And
kind of
this,
stuff.
This one's website is cointelegraph.com.
Yep.
Cointelegraph.com. I'd suggest you guys write that down and go to
Go
it.
check it out.
And get on the newsletter, and they will send you a in your morning
Yep,
emails.
emails.
And take a few minutes, and of course learn a little bit.
Yep.
And there's a number of other ones too out there. I guess we're
We'll get them all. Let's get
Yeah.
to number 5.
well, we did.
That's good.
Made
That's
Oh, that was
Bitcoin
fun?
easy.
That's
That
it.
was it.
That
It's
was
easy to
it,
get
man.
Coinbase, and the information is so important to you getting involved in this and learning about it. And, you know, what were you telling me, Patrick? Your wife, that long show we did last week. I can't believe she listened all the way through, but she said it was interesting. I can't think of it. We were just slugging our way through them.
Right.
We had way too much material. We couldn't get through it all, and so we're kind of learning this. But she said it was interesting because I guess we're resonating with people that, you know, no one is telling them about it. The financial people are probably scrambling that their stock market's getting sucked away into Bitcoin. They don't want to tell you about it. The banks are nervous because it's changing their business model.
buddy.
They don't want to tell you about it.
buddy.
They're,
PayPal.
most of the professors in financial schools have never, you know, when they were in their learning stage from college and they're become professors, there was not even Bitcoin, so they can't tell you
They can't
about
tell
it.
you that.
It's not unless it's in a textbook. None of this stuff's in a textbook.
You
now.
got to learn it on your own.
You got to learn it on your own, and you got to be an early adopter.
Well, you know what? It's an early adopter, like we talked about last week, where the curve is. Like we talked about how many people are really involved in a Bitcoin in this country. And this country is obviously the richest country in the world, and we're barely in it. So imagine where the rest of the world is in it. But then because of that, we can be a little dull because we can go to a bank. We got access to banks and all that kind of stuff, where other people in the rest of the world, man, that's a ritual almost trying to be able to do a financial transaction. Some of them have never done. Like I was saying before, about 40% of the world doesn't have a checking account. So for them to be able to do something with a Bitcoin or do something transaction,
in a
oh man, it's
cryptocurrency,
it's a life-changing event for them. And it's going back to what we said. Basically what we're talking about. What's going to slow down the volatility is people being able to use Bitcoin to do a trade-off, meaning that we're transferring value from one person to peer-to-peer. And that's basically that's going to kill a lot of things, what we talked about before, what's going to disrupt. We'll be able to transfer value.
It's going to kill and bring things to
yes,
life.
it's going to, Well, they say that when one of the greatest things about a forest fire is that it kills off the dead partial and allows new growth. And Bitcoin
And
is
actually,
basically
it fertilizes.
It fertilizes
the growth to
That's
come
a good
forward.
analogy.
So
So there's got some big changes, but you know, with every big change, there's big opportunities.
absolutely.
There's big opportunities. You know, when the gold rush in 1849, isn't it, in California, 49 or 48? I think it's 49. There were fortunes made for the early adopters. The guys that got out there early and found out how to mine the gold made money, and then the guys that helped them get there by teaching them or supplying materials or whatever. Levi Strauss, you know, how 4 of us out of the
Got on his
three
jeans,
out of
man.
the 4
Still wearing blue jeans.
still wearing blue jeans, Levi's, from that era, hundred over 100 years ago,
Yeah.
because there was a gold rush, there was opportunity. I think more than gold or Bitcoin or currency or anything, it's opportunity.
It's an opportunity.
What we're mining is an opportunity.
Right.
This has created all of us an opportunity to poke in there and see what's in there.
Right.
If there's anything in there
It's
for us.
a lot in there, man. I tell you, when we come, we talk. It's just so much going on in regards to the crypto and currency, man.
Carl,
it's hard.
you good? Are you about you're headed to? You
gotta-
got to go
he
home
gotta-
see the
he gotta-
wife.
he gotta take
first.
the flight. He gotta
He's
fly
got to get that. He's got to tip his hat at home, and then he's got to go.
He's got to fly.
He got to fly. He's got a job.
So-
You do a lot better on Saturdays too. That
Oh,
I
yeah.
understand. Yeah. So okay, well we're going to wrap it up here.
Yeah.
And we're just having a good time. We're going to have to do this more than once a week. If you guys would like to see this show more than once a
Subscribe.
week, subscribe. You can also reach any of us in the details down below the video. We've got them in there.
Yeah.
And we've got websites, each of us do, and we've got a way to get in touch with us. And we'd love to hear from you. We'd love to see if you got any questions. We'll try to answer them. And I think I've had a good time today. Have you
Oh
guys?
yeah. Oh yeah.
We got 1,000 more things to talk about,
man.
but we're going to have to
Yeah.
run. All right? We'll
right,
talk
guys.
to you guys later.
Have a good one.
And,
Thanks so much.
Remember, subscribe,
And we're out.
and we are going to be right out of here. Oops. Bingo.